Thank you. We just got a message from Todd that he can't hear me, and that's because I was so careful to turn off the microphone in the beginning. So you should be able to hear me now. Anyway, thank you for showing up on this Christmas Eve, and we really appreciate you being with us and taking time out of your holiday. And if you're not here on Christmas Eve, we'll be very happy if you come later. And so please put your comments into the chat on YouTube and your comments in Facebook, but it has to be my public Facebook page, Granny Rocks On. All right, so we forgot Santa, our Santa
Mustn't
hats.
forget Santa on
We
Christmas
can't
Eve.
do a thing like that. Okay. So Elizabeth said, hi, we can't hear you, but I was already had my microphone on and she said, there you are, we are. So tonight we want to talk about this topic. What should I give myself for the holidays? A helpful guide, but we hope that it is helpful. And that, of course, started me on thinking, and that's dangerous because once I start thinking, I get really confused because everything seems simple until you start thinking about it, and then you realize that there's depths and layers. Okay, so what I want to say is we need to really ask ourselves what we need, what we actually need. And that's what we should give ourselves. So that's two things, right there. One is we have to figure out what we really need. And the other, we have to have the means or the will to give it to ourselves. And we don't always have that. And sometimes needs can be contradictory. For example, I might need to go on vacation, but I also might need money. So you see, I told you when you start thinking about things, you start to get confused. But the first thing I want to do is agree to the principle that we should give ourselves what we need and not what we think we need. And see, that's the other part. Oh my God, what we think we need. And where did we get the idea that we needed those things? Really? Okay. So, James Maynard, my hubby, is going to be sharing the spotlight with me tonight. We don't have any guests because this is kind of like looking within. And what does this have to do with building the world we want? Well, it should be, I hope, obvious to everybody because we want to have the life we want in the world we want. And the life we want is one that actually meets our real needs instead of our ambitions or our delusional needs or our made up needs. Now, I'm going to give you an example of how this complicated and difficult this can be. We are not moving. But if we were, do we need a house with a giant living room, great room kind of thing? Well, I have a 9-foot piano. And let me tell you, you don't put a 9-foot piano in a small space because it ain't going to sound good. So you've got to have certain dimensions and for the acoustics, etc. Okay. So do we need a house with a big area, which we may not be able to afford or find? Well, that depends on whether or not we need that piano. So, oh no, see, I knew that Beth was going to complicate things. Well, do I really need that piano? Well, yes or no. I mean, it makes me happy. It is the best piano for me. I can express myself better with that piano than I can with anything else. But what is the cost of fulfilling that need? Well, the cost of fulfilling that need is I keep that piano instead of selling it, and when I need money, and I have to get a house that's big enough. So what is the cost of fulfilling that need? Have I confused and upset you already?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And then what is the cost of the house that has the right acoustics for the piano. So by the time we're done, we're like, what is the cost of meeting that need? Here's another example that some of you might relate to. I want a dog. I don't want to be lonely anymore. I want people. Can't arrange that, but I can have a dog who's devoted to me. Okay. Do I need a dog? Well, it seems that way because I need connection and I need love, and I don't seem to have it anywhere. So, well, do I really need a dog, or do I need to force myself to get out of my comfort zone and go out there and try to connect to people? Uh-oh. See, have I confused us already? And then if I need that dog, oh, do I really have the time and the energy to train that dog? I mean, train in the most basic sense, like don't bite the neighbor or don't pee and poop in the house. And then what happens when the dog gets old? And do I have the money to pay for all the medication? And do I have the wherewithal to withstand the death of the dog? And what is the cost of meeting that need? And yet, what other guidelines do we have about what we should give ourselves? You know, it's very difficult for us to think through because we have an emotional reaction. Oh, I need to go see my parents for Christmas. Well, look at the weather, the air travel, or whatever, my health, or whatever it is. I really need this for my well-being. And then I have to look at the cost of paying for the need. But then you have to look at the cost of not getting what you need. Right? What are you going to do? And okay, I'm going to say one more thing before I invite James to actually say something, if he feels the need. I forgot. I had a very important point to make about meeting our needs. And so let me go on to something else because hopefully I'll come back to that point. A lot of times we think we need something because we want to look a certain way. And do we need to look that way? Well, I want a job, so I need to at least be wearing, pants or a skirt or something to go for the job interview. So that is probably a good idea. I need to do that. But do I need to go out and buy a whole new outfit? Well, if I get my crummy clothes, I might not get that job and I won't have the income to survive. And so maybe that is a need. But a lot of times it's just an ego need. I just think I need that because I want to impress. But do I need to impress? Will I really impress by what I'm wearing? Will what I choose actually meet the need? I think that deep down inside, what we all need is love and connection. That is what we all need. But now let me throw another monkey wrench in. Supposing we need love and connection, but we're very messed up emotionally because of trauma or conditioning or whatever. And it's not easy for us to go get that love and connection. So we need therapy. Well, for therapy, we need money. Or we need to find some organization that does good therapy, but it has to be the right therapy for you. So all of a sudden, can you feel it? How you start going down this slippery slope of this panic of, will I ever get my needs met? And a lot of times we don't, but we end up kind of prioritizing, what is it that I need the most? Oh, I need to be with my husband who happened to have died 5 years ago. Okay, James, I'd like to open up this conversation.
Sure.
Have I completely screwed you up?
No.
No?
No.
Thank you.
Okay, first of all, you were talking about, like, for example, do you need a pet? Do you need a dog? Well, it just so happens that we put down our dog, one of our dogs, yesterday. My dog.
Put down meaning Put her to sleep.
Put it to sleep.
Euthanized her.
And all this time, I felt I needed that dog, and that dog has served as a constant source of devotion and affection. But since we put the dog down, I've noticed that I'm transferring more of that need to this person that I'm married to. Son of a gun. This dog was fulfilling kind of a false need in a way because it allowed me to divert some of my energy from the connection in our relationship. So the true need was the need for love. And now I'm satisfying that more fully in my relationship with you instead of partially.
That is true.
Yep.
And that is such a positive example where you're actually able to crawl out of this morass of questions that I have created for us. But that's really good. And I think that, you know, we have to realize that needs are relative. If we were going into a cattle car on the way to Auschwitz, I probably wouldn't need my best shoes and best clothing, right?
Right.
And so those circumstances, my needs are really impacted on so many levels by what's happening. But the fundamental need for love and connection, I think, runs through everything. And I agree with that. And so few of us actually have that. Oh my! And we have a comment, but it's in
Ukrainian.
Ukrainian, and I don't think that we have a
does live stream give us a
translation.
chance?
Oh, okay.
There
Well,
it is.
oh, wait a minute. We can't. I am so sorry.
Oh, but he's on Facebook, so
Right.
if we could get on Facebook. Why don't I grab my laptop and I'll get on Facebook and
Okay.
translate it.
Oh, thank you. That's great. So that's really great. So we have somebody, James is going to find a way to get the translation. And he probably said Merry Christmas, but I'm not going to assume that. So, what do we have to do? Oh, that second part of it is, do we give ourselves what we need? We don't give ourselves what we need when we put more priority and emphasis on what the world thinks we should have. Let's say what you really need is a day off and a healthy dinner and peace and quiet, or spending a little bit of time with friends, and you don't want to visit your parents. I mean, this is an example. And people say, well, you can't do that. You know, you need to see grandma and grandpa, or you need to see your parents because it is Christmas. Look at all they've done for you and all that. And to be able to stand up to that and say, no, that is not my need, will make you bad girl or boy to a lot of people. And do you need their approval? So then you go deeper, and now we're really getting somewhere because we have to ask that question.
I have that translation. It's from Vasily from the Ukraine. He said, peace and goodness to you. Let the peace of God rule in our hearts.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Thank you, Vasily.
Thank you, Vasily.
Let there be peace on earth.
Namaste. And look, Melo Gomez says, Feliz Navidad.
Yay.
So
Feliz Navidad.
Another friend, and yes, Feliz Navidad is Merry Christmas. Thank you. And Happy Hanukkah and all the good holidays. So, so will we give ourselves what we need when it means that we may get disapproved of by others? And how much do we actually need their approval, or how much do we only think we do? And would we lose their approval if we did the right thing for ourselves? Maybe, but if we did, I don't think they're friends of ours. So we have to evaluate, how much is their friendship worth? What does it cost? So we're going back to, what the needs are, trying to fulfill our needs, and what it's going to cost us. Do you have any other examples that you would like to bring up about how
Well,
it's difficult to give
mhm.
ourselves permission to meet our needs?
Oh, by the way, Terry Smith, my niece.
Ah,
Hello, Terry, says Merry Christmas, Uncle James and Aunt Beth.
that is so fabulous, Terry.
And
Yay.
a Merry Christmas to you, Terry. Thank you
Yes.
so much. Thank you
Great
so much.
holiday. Have a happy holiday. I don't mind saying Merry Christmas, even though I grew up Jewish. It's just like knowing that it means something to somebody else, and just saying it is not a betrayal of God of Moses and the Holocaust. You know what I'm saying? That's just silly. So thank you, Terry. Yes. So
Well, another example that occurred to me was you were talking about the piano. Now, is that a piano a need? Well, you are a pianist. You were trained to be a pianist. It is a fulfilling activity for you to play the piano. Now, you've tried different pianos. Why this piano? 9-foot concert grand piano. But as it turns out, the other pianos you've tried, they were grand pianos, the action was too hard on your body. So this one is a true need because it has the easy action, because of its great length of the keys.
yes, it is.
Oh, Todd has an interesting message. Do you want to share?
You want to read it, James?
Sure. Todd says, it's difficult for me to give permission to myself. We were supposed to be at my parents' house tonight, but my son is flying out tomorrow morning. And it was supposed to be heavy rain today. So we called him and asked if we could reschedule, and they said yes. They weren't happy about it, but it's about the highest good of all.
Great
Yeah.
point, Todd.
Well
Great
done.
point. In the Stream, which is our nonprofit organization that is sponsoring Building the World We Want, we always talk about making decisions. Hey, Charlie, based on what is for the highest good of all. And sometimes the highest good is not the thing that pleases our egos. So I think I'm really glad to hear that, and I'm glad that you chose safety, because your safety is a greater need than making your parents feel okay. And boy, how many people have ignored that? So, are you recognizing as we're talking that it isn't easy to meet our needs and to allow ourselves to meet our needs? Many of us feel selfish if we get things for ourselves that we really need. Some of us feel like, well, we should give everything away because that's our religious belief or a spiritual belief, or it was drummed into us. But actually, if it's not for the highest good of all, then it isn't the right thing. You can't give away something that you need for your own survival if you want to survive. Elizabeth said, I think there are times I don't even allow myself to look at what I need. Oh, Elizabeth, you're making me happy, as so is Todd. I wanted to do this show tonight exactly for these reasons, because of how difficult it is for us to even allow ourselves to look at what we need. We're so trained that that is selfish, or somebody in our family told us that we couldn't do that, or we were so conditioned to get certain things that live up to family or society or our church or any kind of political organization or whatever it is. And yet, if we don't take care of our needs, we are not at our highest level of functioning. And I'm going to say that again. If we don't take care of our needs, we are not at our highest level of functioning, and we therefore cannot be the greatest blessing we can be to our world. For example, if you need to eat a healthy diet and you're busy throwing sugar in yourself because it's Christmas, giving yourself, oh, well, I needed that. Everybody else was, or drinking or whatever it is that you isn't good for you and that, you're doing just to fit in. Okay, you're fitting in, but you're not at your highest level of functioning because the sugar makes us crazy, the alcohol makes us stupid and poisons us. So if we get it, we need to get our real needs met for us to be well, for us to be at our highest level of functioning to help others, and for us to be happy to live the life we want to, not the one that is prescribed by society.
We have another message.
Okay.
This one's from Amy. I too often look to someone else to determine what I should do instead of trusting my intuition.
Good point. Another good point. We have to trust ourselves. Now, supposing we say, I really need this, and you really believe it, and you've checked in, and you say, yeah, and you get it, and it doesn't work. It's a flop. Then what? You need to not turn against yourself. See? There are emotional needs that don't have anything to do with getting things or doing things. Like, I need to have compassion for myself and to look at the learning that I'm getting from doing or not doing something. So let's say I try some protocol that's supposed to make me healthy and it doesn't work, which is the story of my life. Does that mean that I should stop trying? Should I trash myself for having hope? Absolutely not. So we need to really self-examine, ask ourselves all the questions. Do I really need this? Why do I need it? What makes me think that I need it? And am I willing to give this to myself? Am I embarrassed? Do I feel selfish and all of that? And then be willing to take the risk. It's like being in a relationship. I thought I needed this guy. And there are times when I think that was the stupidest thing I ever thought. But ultimately, it's working out. But I could have gone down the tubes, see, and said, well, I made a mistake. I shouldn't trust myself. I shouldn't have started. I shouldn't this. I shouldn't have that. And that is definitely not something that we need. Well, anything else that anybody would like? I love the audience participation tonight. I really do.
I'd like to share again something else relating to a musical instrument. Throughout most of my childhood, teen years, young adulthood, all the way up to seniors, I was a trumpet player. And you helped me to get a really good trumpet, really good mouthpieces, so I could play really good trumpet. But then it turns out that I was singing better than I was playing a trumpet. And so I was playing the trumpet less and less and less. And then it was sitting around for over a year, unplayed, unpicked up. And so did I need that trumpet? No, I didn't need it anymore. So part of dealing with our needs is getting rid of the things we don't need.
Very good point.
And when we did, I sold it and we got money that helped us with our household expenses.
Yeah. We needed that.
We needed the money.
That's right. So, I want to say something else about needs. People are accused of being needy. Isn't that like an insult? Oh, you're so needy.
Right.
Like you're disgusting. But everybody is needy. Everybody, just give the toughest person a few days without eating or drinking water, and we'll see how unneedy they are. And, sleep out in the cold and be homeless, unhoused, as some people prefer to call it, and think about all the needs. It's, as we age, sometimes we have to let go of a lot of things that served us when we were younger, but no longer do, because it's, you know, sometimes you just can't handle the cost of doing it. Oh, I wish I could have everybody over for lunch. Well, I haven't got the energy, or, it's too hard for me. So we have another comment from Elizabeth. I've been sharing with others our plans for Christmas, going out to lunch and going to a movie. Yes, so many people wished they could do that. Most of them were traveling somewhere for the holiday. Oh, Elizabeth, how sad that is. How sad. But maybe you will inspire them for the next time. Need is not a dirty word. It is not a sign of weakness. And that's one of the things we need to do, is get over the idea that needs are a sign of weakness. Needs are real, and they're on basic levels, clothing, shelter, etc. And then there's food, good food, and then there's art, and then there's intellectual stimulation, and there's and all, and underneath everything is a need for love. And the sad thing is that so many people don't have it. So I would like to say that no matter how poor you are today, and how few gifts you feel that you can give to others monetarily, remember that the gift is love is the most important thing that we can ever give. Even though, without some of those others, we're going to die, but we don't notice. Without love, we're dying anyway. And you can always give love to everybody, the person you talk to on the phone, the tech support person, or the person you see, and not just for Christmas, but for everything. And this is part of building the world we want to live in. So I think we should call it a night and let you all go on to your Christmas Eve plans, or go take a nap, or eat healthy organic food if you haven't already had your dinner, and love everyone that you possibly can. And if you need to choose somebody out because they're being a shit, you need to do that. You need not, it's not about pretending, but once you clear things with people, the love will flow, and we really need that. So thank you for being
Should
with
they
us.
try to chew another person out with compassion?
You should always try to have compassion and understand why people are being hurtful. Oh, Vasily said something else. No, Katyusha, another friend from the Ukraine. Okay, James.
I'm looking for it.
Can you do a
Here
refresh?
she is. Here she
There
is.
it is. Okay, see translation.
She says, God's blessing to all. Namaste and a heart of love.
Thank you, Katyusha. Thank you. It's so wonderful that we are
God bless you.
hearing from our Ukrainian friends tonight.
Our hearts go with you.
Please like or love us on Facebook, and give this show a thumbs up on YouTube, and follow our Facebook page, the public one, the music of the facebook.com, Granny Rocks On, Beth Green, the music of the message, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel, and give yourself the gift of more of our shows. Next week, we'll be here. New Year's. I don't need a vacation that much. And into the future. Oh, and Jeffrey says Merry Christmas. Oh,
Thank you, Jeffrey.
thank
Merry Christmas
you.
to
And
you
he
and
sent
everyone.
us a Santa. Oh, it's just so heartening to see so many friends tonight. I needed this, and you didn't even know it. So please come again every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time, and we'll be playing music tomorrow, Thursday, and next week as
On
well.
Magical Improvs.
Magical Improvs, also on Facebook and YouTube. Oh, Terry says,
We were just at Mom's for Christmas. Wish you were here.
well, we are there.
Mom, by the way, is my sister. My
Yeah.
sister Donna.
His sister, isn't
Oh,
that
wonderful. Wonderful.
And Jeffrey said, welcome. And welcome to you. God bless everybody.
Yes, indeed. And namaste.
We'll see you. What a wonderful, warm feeling I have tonight. Thanks to you. And here's our goodbye music.
Wonderful people.